Okay, section 33, we'll do the homework. Again, I'll go through the homework. The intent here is for you to do the homework as well. All right, so I'm going to switch to the whiteboard as we always do, and you'll see me work through this homework as if I was doing homework. I want to tell you the difference between when doing homework on paper and pencil. That's something you do for your own education. If you're presenting something, though, it should be typed up as it is in the notes. All right, so let's go to the whiteboard, and I'll start the problems. Okay, so let's talk about number one. It says, use the FTC, which is the fundamental theorem of calculus part one, to find the area under that curve. All right, so let's put that down for you. And the first thing I would probably do is just, maybe draw a picture of it if you want, but it's not necessary. I'll just basically write the fundamental theorem. But maybe I should write the problem down for you and see what we can look at. All right, so as we do this in the past, we draw a little picture. And I know that's got x-intercept at 0, and the other x-intercept, let me write this down for you, f of x. I'd factor x out, I'd get 8 minus x. So I get another intercept of 8, all right? And this parabola opens downward, something like this over here, all right? And just get a visual understanding here. And this is 8, and this is 0 along the x-axis. The area under the curve between 0 and 8, and let me outline that for you. That's going to be this region in here. Again, I'm delaying the inevitable. I got to get that, they said the area under the curve for that given region. So let's write this down. It's going to be an integration now. And that integration is going to be pretty simple to write down. It's going to be from 0 to 8. I'm doing this area over here. And it's going to be 8x minus x squared, minus 0 if you thought about it, dx. Let's do the fundamental theorem now. Let's see if we get that. That's going to be x squared over 2, so 4x squared minus x cubed over 3, 0 to 8. I'm going to do the arithmetic now. So it's going to be 4 times 8 squared minus 8 cubed over 3. That's the upper limit. So your limit's pretty nice. It evaluates to 0. I'm going to do this, and the way I do arithmetic, the way you do arithmetic might look different. But I'm going to factor out an 8 squared, and you left off with 4 minus 8 thirds. And this is going to give me 64. This is thirds. And let's see, that's going to give me 12 minus 8, which is 4 thirds. And 4 times 64 is 256. Let's look at our key, see how we've done. And I'm seeing the answer, and I'm seeing the work as well. All right, this one I'm not going to graph out. I'll just do the FTC to evaluate the integral. And I'm going to evaluate it. What do you get over here? Well, let's take a look at it. It's going to be, let's see, that's going to be x to the 6th power. If you divide by 6, that would be a half because there's a 3 as a coefficient, plus x cubed, I'm dividing by 3, minus x squared, I'm dividing by 2. Limits of integration 1 to 4. All right. Remember, you're being graded on getting to the end of it. But if you can't get to the end of it, I say walk away, but I don't want to walk away from anything. And what do you get over here? I get 4 to the 6th power. I'll do that later, over 2, minus 2 thirds times 4 to the 3rd power, minus 4 squared over 2, minus 1/2, plus 2 thirds, minus 1/2. All right, I'm going to do some of the arithmetic now. And certainly the way I do arithmetic, the way you do arithmetic may look different, but our outcomes can't be any different. All right, so I'm looking at this first guy. I'm going to factor out 4 squared. And what do you get over there? Let's write this down for you. So you get minus 1/2 here. And I get 4 to the 4th power here. I get a 2 there, minus 2 times 4 over 3. And then minus, well, the other guy's just simply minus 2 thirds. Put this over here. Again, I know it's problematic. So do I need to learn arithmetic? Yeah, it's something that you need to learn. It's 16. That's squared. And then what I get, 4 to the 4th, it looks like this over here. But I'm dividing by 2. So it's really 2 times 4 cubed, and 4 cubed is going to be 4 times 4 is 16, 64. So 128. All right, this is going to be 64, and 2 times 64 is 128. And when you get minus 8/3, that's not so bad, right? And minus 1/2. And then when you get minus 2/3, all right? And again, yeah, I'm not saying I'm not beyond making mistakes, make mistakes a lot. And this is going to be 16 times 128 minus 16 times 8. Let's see, 16 times 8, I think it can do that. 80 and 48, 128/3. Minus, that would be 16 times half minus 8, right? And then minus 2/3. Whoa. Oh boy, I got a lot of arithmetic to do there, don't I? 16 times 128. 1280. That's 10 times 128, by the way. Then 6 times 100, 600. And then 120. And 6 times 8 is going to be 48. I'm not beyond making a mistake, by the way. Let's see, 10, 14. Let's see, 6, 9, 10. 10, 48. Did I do that right? Yeah, 1048 minus, let's see, 128 minus 2 is going to be minus 133rds minus 8. So it's 1040 minus 133rds. Oh boy, that's 3,120 minus 130, which is 2990 over 3. See how we did? I made a mistake somewhere. That's terrible. I'll tell you why it's terrible. I got to look back over my work and wonder, where did I go wrong? Now, by the way, I got a lot of work down, and it's frustrating to look back over work that's bad. And I know that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just erase everything. And I want to look back over my work and say, I made a mistake somewhere. Now, by the way, I would not recommend doing this on the exam. I just wouldn't recommend it. What I'm going to recommend on exams is just walk away. I mean, you don't even know if you made a mistake in the exam with the arithmetic, but I'll be honest, arithmetic really carries not the weight, not a lot of weight, but it does carry some weight. Let's see if I got the antiderivative right. And I see that. So clearly, I must have made a mistake in the arithmetic somewhere. I'm going to write this down again. And I'm going to be really, really, really careful about it. I'm going to write down 4 to the 6th power over 2 minus 2 times 4 cubed over 3 minus 4 squared over 2. All right, I hate to make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time, but I hate to make them. So let's see, 4 is 6 over 2. 2 times 4 cubed over 3 minus 4 squared over 2. And then minus the lower limit, which is going to be 1. So it's going to be 1/2. Let's see, plus, oh, I made a mistake already. There it is. Plus, let's see, 2/3 minus 1/2. I get really careful. I don't want to go forward. This is a mistake over here. So 4 to 6 over 2 plus 2 times 4 cubed over 3 minus 4 squared over 2. And then if I did 1, I get 1/2, 2/3 minus 1/2. All right, I'm still going to factor out something here. I'm going to factor out 4 squared. And what do I get? I get 4 to the 4th over 2 plus 2 times 4 now, which is 8/3 minus 1/2 minus 2/3. I'm going to keep doing the work. And I'm hoping to get the right answer, by the way. So 4 to the 4th is going to be 4 times 64 divided by 2. So it's 128 plus 8/3 minus 1/2 minus 2/3. Let me just check that, see if I did okay. let's see, 4 times 4, 16, 64. Yeah, I think it's right. 16 times 128 is 1,048. 8 times 16, that's 80 and 48, 128 thirds, minus 8, minus 2 thirds. Let's see, 1048 minus 8 is 1040. And minus, no, not minus, plus 126 thirds. I think I did it right there. 3. And 3 times 1,000, 3,000, 3,120 plus 126. Gee, both those numbers are by 3, aren't they? Let me do that instead. That's going to be 42, right? So that's 1,082. Still made a mistake. Where's that mistake coming from? You know what I want to do? I'll go to calculator. So I'm going to do this in front of you. It's something you want to do too. And I know when you're doing homework, you probably want to use calculators, but I'm going to do a new share with you. Just give me a second and get it going. And someone says, you know, if a calculator can do this, why do I need to learn? And we need to learn. We do. And certainly as the older you get, it's the harder it is to learn and the slower you're going to become. All right. So I'm going to do a new share with you. Just give me a moment to load my application here. I'm going to do a new share. And this isn't the first time I've made mistakes. And it certainly won't be the last time I make mistakes. So I'm doing this problem over here. And let's see. And I'm not beyond make mistakes. So let me get my Sage open. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to integrate this over here and see if I got the right answer. Integrate 3 star x to the 5th power plus 2 star x to the 2nd power minus x. And I'm going to say x from 1 to 4. And let's see what happens here. Yeah, that's the right answer, 2082. So I'm going to go back to my whiteboard and I'm going to struggle with it. And it's a learning experience for me. And what I mean by that, it's also a teaching moment to saying that mistakes really do happen. And that's something that you learn when you're doing homework. And certainly it's unfortunate when you learn when you're doing exams, but it does happen. So let me go new share. I know the answer is right. And I think you probably know how quick Sage did it. And there's a point to be learned there. And I'm going to go back over here. That's frustrating. Going to happen to you in homework. And I do know, I've observed enough students that know that a lot of students just give up. I just don't like giving up. I really don't like it. So let's just see where we went wrong. And if I don't see it quickly, I just have to say, I'm really just too tired to even think about it. So I think I got x6 over 2, 2x cubed over 3 minus x squared over 2, 4 to 1. I plug in the 4. So that'll be 4 to the 6 over 2, 2 times 4 cubed over 3 minus 4 squared over 2. I plug in the 1, and 1 to the 6th power is 1, 1/2 plus 2 thirds minus 1/2. I got that covered. And I got to find my error. And that's tough. And let's take a look at that. So let's take a look. This definitely disappears. So this looks good. And I factored out a 4 squared, right? So I see that would leave 4 to the 4. And then if I factored out a 4 squared, I get 2 times 4, which is 8 thirds. And I would get 1/2. That looks pretty good. Let's see if I did the next thing right, which is 4 to the 4th power. So 4 times 4 cubed, 128. 8/3 minus 1/2. 16 times 8/3. 80 and 48, 128/3. Just looking at my work, by the way, that's all I'm doing. 16 times 128. Let me write that down again. That's 10 times 128, right? I know I made a mistake now. I see it. 600. Hate to make mistakes. Like 6 times 100, 600. 600, 120. 48. I'm just tired. That's all. 8. Let's see. 14. 10. 20, 48. Not out of the water yet. Bingo, got it. All right, what's the lesson to be learned? Arithmetic's really problematic. I mean, people make mistakes, get tired, they lose track of things, they do wrong multiplications, wrong additions, wrong subtractions. It happens. All right, it's costly though. It really is costly. Let's go to problem number 3, and a little bit simpler for me. I'll do this one over here. FTC part 1. I'll just write it down for you. The way I would write this over here is I would probably put the equals 1 to 5. This is going to be easier arithmetic problem. This is going to be x to the minus 5 dx. No, you don't have to do that unless you have to. I'm going to increase the exponent by 1. That's minus 4. And divide by minus 4. So I get this over here. Integration 1 to 5. Kind of nasty, but let's write this down. So what do you get? You would get minus, let's see, 1 over 4 times, oh boy, that's 5 to the 4th power. Minus of minus is plus 1 over 4. That's pretty simple. And I got to do my arithmetic now. Remember, arithmetic is difficult. We know that. Calm down is going to be 4 times 5 to the 4. And then what do you get? You get minus 1 plus 5 to the 4th power. Oh boy, this can be a tough one, isn't it? And what do you get over there? 5 to the 4th power is going to be 25 times 25, which is 625, right? I'll write that down. 4 times 625. And the top is going to be 625 minus 1. Arithmetic's crazy, isn't it? 624 over 4 times 625. I'm going to start dividing through by 2. This would give me 2. This would give me 312. I'll divide by 2 again. That gives me 156. I got my answer. 156 over 625. All right, got the answer over there. This one a little more difficult. And again, we're not trying to trick you. Let's write this down. This is 1 to 5. And that's going to be, let's see, 4x to the 1/2 minus 3x to the minus 1/2 dx. Let's do the integration now. That's going to be 4x, increase it by 1. That's 3/2 over 3/2. I'll clean it up later. Minus 3x to the 1/2 divide by 1/2. Whoops. Divide by 1/2. Limit integration 1 to 5. I got to clean this thing up. And I'm going left to right in the problem. Let's take a look at this thing. That would be 8/3. X to the 3s is really just x times root x. minus 6 root x, limit of integration 1 to 5. What do you get over there? 8/3 5 root 5 minus 6 times root 5. That's upper limit. Let's do lower limit. Much easier, by the way. That's just going to be 8/3. 1 times 1 is 1 minus 6. We'll look at the key later. I want to see if I can do that. I'm going to factor out a root 5 because it really does annoy me. And we left off with 40/3 minus, one thing at a time, by the way. That's going to be 18/3. And this is going to be thirds. It's going to be 8 minus 18. And again, I'm not beyond making mistakes. You know, so you make plenty of mistakes already, right? Root 5 over 3. 40 minus 18 is going to be 22. And this is going to be, let's see, that would be minus 10. So plus 10/3, right? Let's add together. What do you get? You get thirds. You get 22 root 5 plus 10. I don't know. Maybe I made a mistake. Wow, getting better arithmetic, I guess. Let's go to the next problem. That was number 4. Let's go to number 5. And number 5 is the absolute value. This is more difficult for me because absolute value is a crazy problem. So I got to draw a picture of it. And the reason is I don't know the nth derivative for the absolute value. It's too much for me to think about. So I'm going to draw a picture of this thing. The picture I'm going to draw is y equals x squared minus 4. And this looks like a parabola. It looks like this over here. It's got intercepts at minus 2 and 2. And the absolute value, I'll write this one over here, of this thing would look like this. And that's between minus 2 and 2. And I think I can do it now. And it's going to be between 0 and 4. So really what they're doing is I'm looking at this thing. And it's really this thing over here. Well, split into 2 integrals. I'll do this for you right now. And it goes from 0 to 2. And that's going to be the opposite of x squared minus 4, which is 4 minus x squared. dx. I just did this region here. Let's do the next one. And that's going to go from 2 to 4 of the x squared minus 4 dx. Let's see if I can do that. And what do you get there? You get 4x minus x cubed over 3. We'll look at the key later, 0 to 2, plus, oh, geez, what do you get over there? X cubed over 3 minus 4x, integration 2 to 4. I got to do that arithmetic now. Well, the first guy's going to be 8 minus 8/3 minus our lower limit, which is 0, which is pretty simple to do. Let's do the next guy. Let's see what I get over there. We're doing 4 now, so 64/3 minus 16 minus, I'm doing 2 now. Whoops. That's going to be 8/3 minus 8. Oh, a lot of arithmetic over here. So let's take a look at it one step at a time. And I'll just do like what I'm seeing over here. I'm seeing 8 minus a minus 8. So that's 16. Minus 8/3 minus 8/3 is minus 16/3. And then I get plus 64/3, which is going to be 48/3. And I'm not beyond making a mistake in arithmetic. And I do see a minus 16. So I'm seeing 48/3. And what's that going to give me? 16. Let's take a look at our key. And we got it. We got the 16. All right, let's do this one over here. This is number 6. And I got to do this integral, right? So it's going to be from minus 2 up to 1. Now, what I said, this being split. So the first function would be 2 minus x squared dx plus, now I'm going to be starting at 1 and I'll be going to 3. And what function is allowed to do that? It's x squared now, right? Dx. All right, so what am I going to do now? The integration, and this is going to be 2x minus x cubed over 3, limits minus 2 to 1, plus x cubed over 3, limits integration 1 to 3. Well, I got some arithmetic to do. Let's put this down. So it's going to be 2x, I'm sorry. X is, we're evaluating at 1, right? So I'm not going to write that down again. So it's 2 minus 1/3 minus, well, let's see, lower limit is going to be -2, right? Did I do that right? Yep. So -4. And that's going to be +8/3. Then plus, let's do the next guy. The next guy is going to be 27/3, which is 9. Oh boy. And then I got to do lower, right? -1/3. Oops, let me do that. Let me get my eraser. It looks crazy. Let's see if we can do the arithmetic here, right? Let me do my integers. 2, 6, 15. 2 minus 1 4 6. 6 plus 9 is 15. Let's see, -1/3, -1/3, -2/3. Let me write this on the side. I'm doing these two now. And then +4. I'm sorry, +8/3. What am I saying? And that's going to be 5/3, right? I'm sorry, 6/3, which is 2, isn't it? You know what? My penmanship's really bad. I can't even read my own writing. Let me see. 2 minus 4, 6. 6 plus 9, 15. -8/3. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. -8/3, -9/3, -11/3. Sorry about that. No, -10/3. Boy, I'm really screwing up. What's that going to be? Thirds. And 45 minus 10, 35/3. I had a bad time with arithmetic today, didn't I? But anyway, we got the right answer. We're done with this. What's the worst part about that integrations? Doing the arithmetic was the worst part. There's no doubt about it. All right. We did our practice though. We should be ready for exams at this point. All right. Let me take a look. I'm going to stop the share and stop this. All right. Let's just end the meeting.